Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Sherrone Moore, Michigan, landing their second commitment of Sunday afternoon. This one coming from three-star offensive lineman Kaden Strayhorn, originally from Detroit, Michigan, played his last couple of years of high school ball at IMG Academy. Two things to note. One, Michigan doing a really good job at IMG Academy, right? This is the second commitment of Sunday afternoon from an IMG prospect. But I think more importantly, you look at Kaden Strayhorn and say, yeah, he's a three-star recruit according to the recruiting services. You take a look at the programs that Michigan had to beat out for this kid's commitment: Ohio State, Georgia, Miami. There were some heavy hitters that were interested in Kaden Strayhorn, a guy that was largely considered from a lot of Power 5 standpoints perspective as one of the top interior offensive linemen in this 2025 cycle. And I think most importantly, this has been Sherrone Moore's guy from the start of 2025 cycle. This is a guy that they wanted at this center position. They continue to go after him. They end up landing the commitment after an official visit over the weekend. Two things. One, really, really good athlete, works up to the second level exceptionally well. But I think more importantly, this is a guy that just kind of fits Michigan's MO at the center position. And we talked about this throughout Michigan's building their 2025 class. Michigan recruits players that kind of fit what they want to do on both sides of the football. You look at the past centers for this Michigan program, a guy like Olu, he only went 6'2.5", 305 pounds. Drake Nugent last year was only 6'2", 298 pounds. You look at Kaden Strayhorn and say, this is the exact body type that Michigan wants in that center position. They want athletes. They want guys that can work up to the second level, operate in space, pull around to the play side. And Kaden Strayhorn, going through that whole checklist and saying, check, 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 check. From an athletic standpoint, this is the exact center that Michigan wants to build their offensive line around. Fired up about this commitment, a guy that we've talked a lot about over the last couple of weeks. Before we get into it, just want to say thank you to you guys and to the Michigan fans. As a Michigan fan myself, it has been just a blast talking ball with you guys in the comments section over the last couple of weeks. It is no secret, Michigan is starting to get some momentum on the recruiting trail. And for all of you guys who've been rocking with the fellas in the middle of June talking recruiting, can't thank you guys enough. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Might not be the last commitment that we are breaking down this Sunday. And without further ado, let's get into Kaden Strayhorn. And before we get into the film, again, two things that I want to know. One, phenomenal athlete, right? 6'3", 295 pounds, carries that weight exceptionally well. And being a 6'3" frame, which is a little bit smaller than a lot of frames that you see on the offensive line, two things stand out. One, works in space exceptionally well, but I think more importantly, plays really low off the line of scrimmage. I mean, when you play with good leverage and low pads, that goes a long way. And again, you go back to guys like Olu or Drake Nugent, what made them so solid is, being really athletic, playing with low pads, moving people off the line of scrimmage. Kaden Strayhorn does a lot of those things at the high school level, and you're getting a polished offensive lineman. Like, you get into the film and say, yeah, there's some upside to Kaden Strayhorn, but you are getting an offensive lineman that just seemingly is going to be a multi-year starter for this Michigan offensive line. Plays a lot of tackle at IMG, and you see the athleticism right off the way on the film. Pulling around to the play side, getting to the second level, you see the power in the hands that he is so comfortable pulling to the play side, getting to the second level, playing in space. And again, that is all things that you really value for a Michigan center. Second thing, get off the line of scrimmage, coming out low, moving bodies off the line of scrimmage, not only getting movement on the double team, but hey, we're going to get to the second level and pick up that linebacker. That's what you draw up in textbooks. And you see the running back that you can drive a truck through that hole largely because of Kaden Strayhorn winning the double team, getting to the second level. This is a guy that when you look at some of the reps, it's just textbook out of Kaden Strayhorn. And I think a lot of this is why Michigan wanted Kaden Strayhorn so badly. Really good in pass protection, just really, really active feet, good base, strong player. You're not surprised he's good in pass pro. Again, down block, getting to the second level, picking up the linebacker. He is so explosive off the line of scrimmage. And again, not necessarily the biggest frame, but how he comes off the ball, in my opinion, extremely special. Pulling around to the play side once again, getting to the second level, putting the linebacker in the dirt. This is all stuff that you see drawn up in a textbook out of Kaden Strayhorn. And you take a look at this Michigan class of 2025, and two things jump out. One, we're building the offensive line. Avery Gatch already committed. Now Kaden Strayhorn. Sounds like a couple more offensive linemen that are on the way. We said this earlier today. We'll say it again. You look at the success that Michigan has had over the last couple of years. It starts on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. You look at some of the top commitments that Michigan has in 2025. Nathaniel Marshall, four-star defensive lineman, top 100 prospect. Jalen Williams, four-star defensive lineman. Avery Gatch, four-star offensive lineman. It's no secret where Michigan's success comes from. You see it played out on the recruiting trail. Fired up about this kid, a guy that we've talked about a lot, coming back home to Ann Arbor. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas. Again, if we got any more commitments Sunday afternoon, we'll be breaking them down. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.